Everybody, it's Paul from Screwgrinding Scribe with my annual 2023 video review of my channel and how things are going and stuff like that. Now, it was interesting this year. I got to two big milestones. I had 200 videos, which you can take a look. I'll link that one in the description below, where I've put 200 videos up. And that might not sound like a lot, but that's a lot of videos, especially around this particular topic around screenwriting software. At least for me, and like I said, I'm still sort of figuring that out as well too. The other thing was getting 1,000 subscribers. I've been doing some more educational stuff around YouTube videos and stuff like that. How I can make my content better. And one of the interesting things I found out from Roberto Blake was that less than 10% of YouTube channels have 1,000 followers. So thank you very much for coming along with this journey and to give me encouragement and stuff like that. So I wanted to just share with you a little bit of what the channel did this year, what I really liked, what my vision for 2024 was, and what are some of the challenges too. Because I don't think, I appreciate any videos that you've watched before, and especially clicking on this one. But this one just sort of reveals what it's like to be a small YouTube creator. Again, like I said, I have 1,000 subscribers. I do this part-time. I don't make very much money, if any, I don't make any money from YouTube AdSense. I've had a little bit of money this year. I think it was less than $25 between everything. And I haven't seen everything of that as well either. This year, though, I did have some big milestones in terms of financial stuff. I did get paid by Scrivener because somebody bought a copy of Scrivener. Thank you very much. I just have to they changed affiliate links, so I have to go do that. I had an offer this year from a company, Studio Vidity, that offered my viewers, and I haven't talked to them again, so I don't know if I actually made any money off that. I enjoyed talking to them, and I was glad to help them out and stuff like that. It also got me more interested in how do I handle brand deals as a small YouTuber. I mean, that's another interesting question. I mean, there's not a lot of books to read, and there's not a lot that I know about how to handle brand issues and or brand deals, and so I'm still sort of figuring that one out as well too. Oh, and this year was the first year I've gotten Amazon affiliate link stuff, and so I think I made a total of $15 off of that. And then someone was gracious enough to donate to buy me a pizza slice, and they gave me $15 from that. Though I won't see that $15 from there until it gets to $100. So I'm not really counting that revenue. So between all those things, what was it, less than $50? So I don't get rich doing this stuff at all, but I enjoy it. I mean, the real reason I do this is because there wasn't a channel like this, and so that's why I started doing this. I mean, there's screenwriting software channels, but they just tell you how to do stuff. They don't really review them and stuff like that. There's not a lot of other places to do that, so that's why I've been doing it. Well, let's talk about some of the highlights for this year for me. Coming in at number 3, I got to try out a lot of fun new software. It's been really neat working with new types of software, and they really innovate and allow us to put our visions of screenplays onto the page, or the electronic page, as the case may be. And you know what? Being, this channel is about 2 years old, but just being a screenwriter for as long as I have been, more of a hobbyist. I'm not a professional. Don't quote me on that, but just from being in the hobby, I've seen over a time just how many more screenwriting software programs have come onto the market. There's been a lot recently, and it's really a really neat renaissance period to be alive and around during this time, to see all these new different ways for us to put words on the page and all the different help that we have. I mean, some of these were just basically glorified, like Word doc editors and stuff like that, but now there's so many more features. And with AI coming along, there's even more features. And so it's been really neat to do that. And I've really loved talking to a lot of different creators, like Studio Vidity, when they came and talked to me about, hey, could you talk about our software? We'd really love you to just run through it and show people what it's like. Really love working with them. They're great work people. I also really love talking to Justin from So Create. He's been really good to talk to. And I know I have some more videos I'm going to be making for him, just because I like the product. And I want to get used to the product a little bit more. But yeah, it was really fun getting used to these different types of softwares, different ways to express myself, different ways to hopefully give you different ideas of what is out there, because so often we just think it's Final Draft, Fade Pro, Kitsenarist, which is still a really good program. All those are really good programs, but these are just some other ways for people to use and to get that screenplay from their head onto the page. The second thing for me was all the interviews I did. I know I really appreciated Oliver Vance and Paul Guillot, who came on the program and did their interviews. Paul was a well-known screenwriter from NCIS New Orleans. I really appreciate that. He also wrote the Gerard Butler film, Geostorms. I know some people have been really bashing that, but still, he wrote that. I'm like, that's cool. I mean, he's able to do that. So I really had a great interview with him. We had a great time talking. And Oliver Vance as well, too, who was from HBO Max with his series too. Great to talk to them. Great to talk to screenwriters and to sort of hear what they are going through, what sort of their story was. I always find it interesting to see where people's stories was. I also really enjoyed my interview with Alan from Film Threat. I mean, he was just amazing, really funny. It was great energy. I mean, all of the interviews were great energy. And it was just so enjoyable to talk to them, get some different viewpoints on screenwriting, and movies and scripts and Hollywood and all that stuff. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun. My number one highlight is you guys. All the activity I've had with you. It's been fun finding out people's journeys. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and talk to me about where they're at in screenwriting and the problems that they have with particular softwares or just stuff in general. I've actually helped a bunch of people out with reading some of their stuff and giving them some notes. I always let them know, again, I'm not a professional. I'm more of a hobbyist. So take all my notes with a grain of salt. But like I said, I've been a film critic for 3 years. I've watched a lot of movies, read a lot of screenplays. So I have some knowledge, but again, I don't work in Hollywood. And so you have to take everything I say with a grain of salt, because that's where I'm at. And so I'm always very truthful with people about that. But I love helping people out, giving people feedback, and just answering your questions. So thank you very much for making this such a fun year, such a highlight for me. And again, just reach out if you have any questions, put anything on the videos. You can always email me as well as if you want to do that as well. So again, thank you for, because it's really about interacting with you guys and helping you out. That really makes me want to keep doing these videos. Again, $50 or less than $50 for the whole year is not a lot of money. And I don't, and if anybody ever tells you that YouTube is, some people do go viral and become big hits and stuff like that. But, it's really interesting that in such a niche topic as screenwriting software that I've been able to make a sort of name for myself. And like I said, it's been interesting to have people treat you as a micro-influencer. Like I said, so because I've had screenwriting companies come and talk to me about their products and stuff like that, which again, I love to do. It's one of my fun pieces of my job. Well, I shouldn't say a job. This is not really a job. It's just fun. And so I appreciate you guys doing that. So the second thing I want to talk about is some of the challenges that I've had with working on the channel this year. One is I work a full-time job. And so if you ever wonder why I don't have content come out consistently on Mondays, sometimes the work gets in the way of that. And I do my best to try to be as faithful as making sure I do uploads every Monday. My real goal for 2024 is to try to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But a lot of times that's not very realistic. And so I'm really just going to try to focus on at least definitely always doing a video on Monday, but hopefully one on Friday. If I can do Wednesdays as well too, that would be great. And so that was one challenge for me this year. I think the second challenge for me, which really hit me hard, was I had somebody in the comments just berate me. If you've wondered why I've changed my name so many times on YouTube, so I went from like screenwriting mentor, small town movie critic. Well, I moved from doing movie criticisms to more talking about screenplays, and I got away from screenwriting mentor because this guy just basically verbally attacked me. And again, I don't make a lot of money for this. I do this because I like to do it, and so it was really hard when this guy just verbally attacked me. And I basically banned him. I blocked him. I told him, I said, hey, if you don't like my stuff, don't come on and watch it. You don't have to watch it. But he just kept he wouldn't relent. He just kept on me time and time again. And finally, I just blocked him and said, nope, I ain't going to deal with that. And so I think that's been hard to deal with too. And I think a lot of content creators don't talk about that struggle, but it's hard when people berate you and like I said, it's interesting what people's perception is. With 1,000 YouTube followers, and people think that you're probably making a cool a lot of money. I'm not. I don't. I do this because I like to help people. I do this because I like film. I do this because I want films to be better. I want scripts to be better. This is why I do it. I don't ever think I'm going to make millions of dollars off my YouTube channel. That's never been. I just enjoy doing it, and so having somebody who just relentlessly attacks you and verbally berates you, it's hard to deal with. So that's probably the biggest barrier I had to content creation, because that took me a while to get over and to work through, and so every single time I get a comment, I knew my heart would flutter because I didn't know how people would take it. And granted, yes, I need to have a thicker skin because I'm on the internet and people are jerks. I mean, that's just part of the process. And as you become more popular, people are not going to like you for particular reasons. And I could live with it if people don't like the way I look at AI. I can, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But when people automatically think that you're trying to scam people or trying to be something you're not, and I think I try to be very straightforward with people. I mean, that was really hard to deal with. So before we get to all the stats this year, so this video was inspired by Jeb Brooks, Greener Grass. They do a travel channel, and so they had sort of this end of year, and I thought it was really interesting, just sort of them pulling back the curtain so we could see sort of what happens with their YouTube channel. And so I wanted to do a couple of awards first, and then we're going to peel back and I can tell you some of my analytics and stuff like that, what went well, what didn't go well, and sort of my visions for 2024. So for my award category, now this year I made 72 videos, which is basically a little bit more than one per week, which I think is pretty good, because again, my job is normally takes about 50 to 60 hours a week. So I was really proud that I was able to stick to, and I think that's the big thing too. If you're working on trying to grow your YouTube channel, consistency is the big thing. Try to make sure you have a video out every week. Even better if you can do it every week on the same day. So, but I have some awards that I would like to give to the different categories for all those 72 videos that I created. So my very favorite video to make, which is my first award, was the one on decoding Tarantino. It was one of my latest ones. And it also was one of the only ones this year that got a content strike for 15 seconds. Come on, YouTube. That's a lot. The reason why this was my favorite video is I really like the editing product, the editing process, the final product I thought was really well. It took me about 10 hours to edit that video. I mean, I know it might not seem like it, but it took a lot of while. I also have been reading a lot about Tarantino, and so it was a lot of fun to put some of that knowledge forward for people to see. To be honest, I'd really like to do a documentary on Tarantino, but I don't know if it really fits with my particular channel. And I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a little bit. It did take me a little while to do, like I said, about 10 hours for the editing. But that was my favorite video. I love the thumbnail. I think the thumbnail really hits. I think that's probably also my best thumbnail for the year. So pretty happy with that video. Now the hardest video for me to make, and I think the direction I want to go with is just the hardest one, just process-wise to do, and actually the longest one it took to make. And you might have thought, well, it's probably that Tarantino one. If you're editing for 10 hours, that's pretty long. Well, actually, the Law and Order Blueprint video was actually the longest I've ever done research on, and sort of got the script together for, because I had to watch a lot of Law and Order. When I put that blueprint together, I wanted to make sure that I was saying something that was reliable. I just didn't want to throw up something and say, okay, well, it's these 5 things, and not go through it. So I went through a whole entire season to make sure that everything I was saying was legit. So I went through 3 or 4 seasons. So that's a lot of episodes to watch. I love Law and Order. especially the SVU side. And so it was not a problem to do, but it just took a long time. And then after that, I had to figure out, okay, which episode of those was going to highlight that blueprint the best. And so that's how I got onto the one I did. But the editing, probably, again, about 6-7 hours. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I do a lot of starting and stopping. And I have a script that I use. And so I try to not look at the script too often. It depends. Like I said, if you see me reading the script too much, you probably know A, I don't know it, or B, I'm under a time crunch and I need to make sure I get the video out. So if you see that. So now my next award is the most surprising video. So like I said, it's, sometimes I get ideas from folks, from you guys, which I really appreciate, and I try to do my best to put those videos out pretty quickly. So the most surprising video for me, which I thought would just be short-lived or maybe just a small amount of views, was my export a script from Kit Scenarist. It's actually one of my highest videos made this year, which I thought was very interesting. But, on further reflection, I should have known better, because if you look up Kit Scenarist on YouTube, I have most of the videos on that. I actually have a whole library on Kit Scenarist and how to use Kit Scenarist. If you're wondering what Kit Scenarist is, it's a free software program. The designers were from Russia, or they still might be from Russia. And it's a really great software program. If you haven't checked it out, take a look at it. I'll link that in the description as well too, so you can find where that's at and give it a try. They've actually moved on from Kit Scenarist and are working on Story Architect, which I have done a video as well on too. You can take a look at that, and I'll link that in the description below. I was trying to think of an award that was a little different, something interesting. And it also reminds me of why I did this particular video. Again, I sort of I don't know if I've found my complete way on this particular channel yet, but So my most bizarre idea was overcoming writer's block. Now, at first glance, that sounds like it's on brand because we're talking about writing. Yeah, but we're talking about screenwriting, and we're talking about screenplays, and yeah, there is some writer's block involved with that, but it really isn't on brand. And there's also a lot of bigger channels that talk about it and have made their channel emphasis about writer's block and the writing process and stuff like that, and I haven't really done that. And so there's a lot of better channels out there, and it makes sense why this was probably my lowest viewed video of the year at 27 views. I appreciate everybody who watched it. So since I'm a screenwriting channel, I want to talk about the worst software program for 2023, and you probably already know it because I just had a video out about it, Squibbler. I still think it's one of the worst programs out there, even more so after learning what I learned about sort of what the owner did and thinks of the program and how much they really don't communicate. That's one thing I forgot to put in that video. I still haven't got any communication from them. I mean, about a month, and I haven't heard anything back from them from all the questions. I put questions on the YouTube channel. They have like no engagement at all, and yet it's supposed to be one of the best software programs out there. Let's see. JTrain 5615 brings up a good point. That I compared it a lot to Final Draft, but Final Draft in this iteration, when you're watching this video, in December of 2023, has not come out with an AI component yet, so it's probably not the best thing to compare it to. So I will be doing a comparison between Story Architect, which I think is a far superior product than Squibbler. Squibbler's way overpriced. Don't get Squibbler. I mean, if you're going to do that, go get Final Draft. I mean, it's a much better program. You'll like me for it. You'll say thank you for it. But Squibbler, don't use it. And again, I'm just saying that from a screenwriting perspective. I haven't checked it for books. If you want to use it for a book, that's great. Yeah, go for it. My favorite software for 2023, drumroll. I used a lot of wonderful software. So when you hear which one's my favorite, I don't want you to think that I don't like all the other stuff. I loved using Arc Studio Pro. SoCreate was great. Studio Vidity was fine. Scrite was great to work with as well too. I mean, all the programs are great. I really enjoy using all of them, but the one that I tend to use is Final Draft and Fade In. Those are I waffle between those two, just because it's so easy. There's really not complicated UIs and stuff like that. Everything just works. I think that's the biggest thing. I just want a program that just works. Next thing I want to do is just talk to you sort of about the how my videos did for the year. My top 5 videos from this year that I created this year. Number 1 is top 10 screenwriting softwares, which had about 721. And these numbers are all coming from December 30th of 2023. My second script was the one I gave the award to, how to export a script from Kit Scenarist, which was 575 views. And again, the next one was Kit Scenarist again, creating a title page for Kit Scenarist. I didn't think, again, that this would really get a lot of results, but it did. People are looking at how to create a title page. And then the last 2 has to do with Scryte. Again, 510 views, because like I said, it's a really nice software program, and one I think will get a lot of traction, especially because some of their pre-work stuff is just the way they do a relationship mapping is so good. And the last video has to do with Kit Scenarist and Scryte, as I did a comparison between the 2. Now, if you're interested, those are the top videos that I created in 2023. But the top videos overall was, drumroll, Kit Scenarist again at number 1 at 6,203. Beginning Guide to Fade In, which was 5,147. Top 5 free screenwriting softwares, 3,525 was the amount of people who watched that. What screenwriting software does Tarantino use? 2601. And then how to create a PDF with Fade In, which was 2583. And here's some other stats I want to give you. Besides those being my top 5 2023 videos, as well as my top 5 overall videos, I got about 48,000 views on my videos, and that was about 30% better than 2022. I'm up to about 1.9 watch hours, which is about halfway to monetizing, which is about 20% more than last time. Now, if you're wondering, well, Paul, you have 200 videos here. Why aren't you close to monetizing? Well, I found out earlier this year that you have to hit about, your average video needs to be about 9 to 10 minutes before you, so to have that, if you have about 200 videos, then you should be hitting the range that you need to get monetized, the 4,000 watch hours. When I found out that most of my videos are about 5-6 minutes, so I'm about half, so it makes sense. And which is probably why you're seeing me also do more videos, and also I'm trying to make them a little bit longer so that I can get monetized. So that's something good to know. So if you're a YouTuber and you're trying to get monetized, again, you want your average video to be about 9 to 10 minutes long, and that'll get you, if you have about 200 videos, you'll have about 4,000 watch time. And I gained about 400 subscribers, which is about 11% more than last year. I've had a lot of people tell me that they just find this channel a hidden gem, and I appreciate any and all kind words, so thank you for that. Will we blow up? Who knows? Again, I don't do it for that. I really just do it because I love screenwriting software. I love interacting with you guys. I just want to help people out, and I want people to be able to create good stories, because we can watch good films then. Because if you're watching this in the future, hopefully movies have gotten better. But here in 2023, movies suck. I mean, they are just bad. And so hopefully we can get people writing better movies. And so having the tools to do that, I think is helpful. So insights I've learned. As you probably noticed, as I was talking about, sort of just looking at the statistics for the channel, I still haven't really found my niche. I love screenwriting software, but I also like screenwriting in general. Maybe I should put those in 2 separate channels. I don't know. I'm still working on that. What are your thoughts? Should I do a separate channel just for screenwriting topics? I don't know. It's hard. And like I said, I'm just shocked and awed that in such a niche that we are in, screenwriting software, that I have this many followers. So again, thank you guys. You make me want to make more videos. Now I've gotten some good educational opportunities this year. I shelled out to buy Think Media's VRA, such as Video Ranking Academy, and I'm going through it, so hopefully my videos will get better. I think that's the reason why my thumbnail for the Tarantino video was so good. And so I just have to keep having the confidence to go through that, and I think just having the time again. And so that's something I'm going to be working on this year. So if you notice the quality of my videos go up, let me know. Or if they don't, let me know as well too, and I'll keep working on that. And I think the last insight is, after 200 videos, I still struggle from time to time with getting stuff on YouTube. It's hard when work's busy. Hopefully this summer I'm going to be able to put more content out, because I'm going to be on sabbatical for 3 months, which will be great. The other thing about YouTube, though, is it makes it hard to write screenplays. projects because I'm choosing to do videos versus working on my screenplay. And if you're wondering how my scripts are doing this year, I got one in the rewriting process. I've rewritten it. It's a lot better than where it was at, but it still needs like 3 or 4 more rewrites. I need to do several more passes on it. So hopefully I'll have time to do that. I did get 2 other first drafts done this year, which was good, but I know I could have gotten a lot more done since August. I haven't really touched my screenplays as much, and I really need to get back to that. So I'm really going to be trying in 2024 to take some more time, be more intentional working on my screenplays as well too, because I enjoy writing. I enjoy doing this process. I enjoy using the software more than just figuring out if I like it or not, but actually using it to create stories. And so you'll probably see some more videos on that. Maybe I'll just do some more video vlogs on how me writing, and so you can see how the software works as I'm putting together my screenplays. So that leads us to my top 5 visions for 2024. So my 5th thing I'll start with is I'd like to interview more screenwriters. Really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed talking to people and learning more about the craft, more about the industry. So if you know some screenwriters who want to come on, let me know. I do have one interview coming up that is going to be with another YouTuber who's a screenwriter as well too. And so I'll have that out pretty soon. My 4th I'm just counting down my visions for 2024. My 4th thing is I'd like to get a weekly podcast going about screenwriting where we can talk about a wide range of things. And so maybe this is where I'm going to put in some more. I might generally talk about screenwriting software in most of my videos, but then have this as sort of the outlet to talk about different things like the writer's strike, or now that we're over with the writer's strike, but stuff like that, or different screenwriters and their impact on the industry. There's a lot of interesting things to learn from the past, and how do we create better stories. I think some of it is looking at the past and seeing how they created stories and not copying that, but seeing what works through them and see if we can take some of those lessons and apply it to our own screenplays. I'm also going to start working on my audio dramas, and getting them published. And so you might see that a little bit more on the podcast. I like to do that. I think that's one area if you're looking to do screenplays for, is do audio dramas. I mean, that's the next big thing. People are really liking podcasts and stuff like that. And I think if you have something successful like that, I think you're going to get a following and stuff like that. So I'm going to hopefully start putting those out. I've been working on one. I've had one that I borrowed from H.G. Lovecraft. And so I'm actually reading books about some of the older content too, and trying to see if I can apply that and change some of that around for modern audiences. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Second vision for 2024 is I'd like to review more products, and not just screenwriting software. There's a lot of nice outliners out there that can help you with the writing process, and I think I'm interested in doing that because I've had some interest. I put a poll up. If you're not interested in that, go to the poll and make sure you vote no. But if you're interested in that, I was trying to try that. There's actually some other products I found on Amazon as well too. There's like a vomit diary where you can just sort of put all your draft down. So I was going to take a look at that, see what that looked like. And if there's any particular product in general you want reviewed, let me know and I will do my best to review it. And my big vision for 2024 is, so I use a lot of screenwriting software. I know I like, and I tend to use Final Draft and Fade In, but I've seen a lot of the different, I don't think there's a lot of folks out there who are like me in that they know how different screenwriting software functions or works, or what's the good pieces or bad pieces about it. So I've been kicking around the idea of creating one, or at least putting together the concept for one, because I think with my knowledge of the industry, we could create a nice product for folks. And you believe it or not, I really don't want it to be a subscription-based model. I really like to just to hand you this and say, here you go, pay me X amount of money, you get the updates, and maybe we might charge you for the updates, but not like what Final Draft does, where they sort of kill you with those high amounts of updates, $79, $59, maybe $10, sort of to like what Scrivener does, where they maybe give you everything good for, if like it's from 10 to 11, they give you everything in between, and once they have 11, then they charge you a little bit more. But But yeah, Scrivener has a great product for like less than $70, and same thing with Fade-In, less than $100. But I'd like a little bit more. Scrivener, I feel, just doesn't is not as user friendly. Fade-In needs some more pre-work stuff. So let me know, what would you really like to see in a screenwriting software? Well, again, thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being my inspiration for doing stuff like this. If you have any video ideas that you'd like to see, let me know. And also, if you have video ideas you don't want to see, let me know as well as that too. I try to really tell on my YouTube channel what people like and what people don't like. But it's a lot of times it's a guess. So, well, until the next video, live well and write well. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2024.